Welcome, everybody. Episode 11 Talks for the People, second episode of the new year. I'm going to tell everybody right off the bat this episode could go off the rails. We're going to try a lot of new stuff tonight, but it should be a lot of fun regardless. Cody, Steven, how y'all doing tonight?
Doing good. It's kind of cold today. That's unusual for me to say. I had a long sleeve shirt on all day.
Look, I know we may not live in the north, but look, 30 degrees is cold. I will fight you. I don't like living. There's a reason I don't live in the north, and anything below the temperature of freezing is cold. I don't like
I'm
it.
I'm doing good as well. But to that point, I would like to say I've always been a firm believer that if it is terrifyingly cold, it better at least snow. And there's rumor that Sunday and Monday it might happen in our area. So
And let's all pray to whatever entity you believe in that it does not happen.
why not? Snow day.
Yeah, but you know what? We'll talk about this off air. It's not all it's cracked up to be, at least for me. But y'all both have an advantage now. For me, it's not all it's cracked up to be. All right. We're
Still
gonna
like the
go.
snow though.
No, I hate snow. I despise snow. Contrary to even what my daughter thinks, snow is evil. I hate the snow. It needs to be summertime already. Bring back the 100-degree weather. Screw y'all.
I do like it.
You know what
Heat
burns?
miser.
You know what burns my biscuits? Damn snow. I hate the snow. I hate the winter. I wish I could. I want to be like a bird, but instead of flying south for the winter, where obviously it's still cold, I want to get rich and famous sheerly for the reason that whenever it gets cold here, I jump in a plane and I fly to Australia. Because it's summertime there right now.
Crocky.
And then when it gets cold in Australia, I come home where it's hot here.
Yeah.
I'll take your grumpy ass to South Florida.
If the wife would let me, I would. I would already be there.
Miami.
Cody,
Yummy, yummy.
Cody, what's burning your biscuits this week, buddy?
All right, so I actually have two. First one's quick. Uh, People that play loud music in a neighborhood, like in your vehicle,
Yep.
can kiss my ass.
Ho, ho. Pug her up, baby.
Alan, what are you looking around for? Do you do that?
Look, in all honesty, I don't have aftermarket speakers. It's loud. The volume is maxed out in my car, but even if you're standing 5 feet away from my car, it's you're not going to hear it in your house. But the volume is maxed in my vehicle, but 5 feet from the car, even with my windows rolled down, it's not going to be that loud to you. So I'm not one of the people you're referring to.
So going down the road, it's fine, or in town or whatever. I don't care. But if you get into a neighborhood where people are, some people work night shift, so they're asleep during the day and stuff
Look,
like that. I mean, that's the last thing you want to hear coming down the road is.
yeah, I'm not blasting the rap
You could be a
music
beatbox, baby.
that's shaking the screws loose and that's shaking the screws loose in their trunk. I'm not listening. It's not that loud.
Anyway, kiddos, turn it down. Um,
Get
so
off
my,
my
my
lawn.
so the other one I have is I have recently joined the world of Call of Duty,
Yes. Welcome
and
to the dark side. We have cookies.
Cookie.
so I'm horrible. Okay, but I'm gonna get better. And the way I get better at anything, just the way I learn, is I watch better players and try to do what they do, and then I incorporate my own thing to it. So, for people that don't know what Twitch is, mom and dad, Twitch is an app that you can stream your play on, and people can pay you, or you know, or you can watch for free or whatever. So I go on there and I download Twitch, and I'm watching these players that are, I mean, they're a whole lot better than I am, but so I have no basis for comparison. But they seem like really good players, and they got like 20,000 people watching them at all times when they're streaming. So I'm assuming they're pretty good. But what irritates me is when I'm watching and they start bitching about uh, people that they're on their team, just random people on their team that aren't any good. Well, first off, you're it's me.
What?
so
That is absurd.
so first off, you're really good. So the chances of you getting on a team with 5 other guys that's as good as you is probably not going to happen unless you group up like we do, like us three do. But so don't bitch at your team just because they're not as good as you. I mean, don't be an asshole about it. I mean, and if you're that good, carry the team. Go out there and kick some ass.
I agree.
Help me out.
Yeah, yeah.
And on the other side of that, when they get killed, they bitch because they're like, that guy's terrible. He shouldn't even be in here. Well, he killed you. Why don't you give him a little props?
And
He's
I
a,
agree with you.
that I'm a trash player and I killed you. But give me some props.
If you
So
have a stream and you get paid good money for it, like guys like what's the guy that was very popular with Fortnite?
Oh,
Ninja.
Ninja. Yeah.
Ninja, right? And I haven't heard Ninja do it. And I'm just trying to think of a famous one. But if you are playing like Call of Duty and you get paid buku money to play video games, and you were caught bitching about your teammates, that I agree with you, Cody. That should not happen. That's rubbish. And on the flip side, it should easily turn into you know what? I'm the pro gamer here. Let me show them what it's all about and win this game by carrying everybody. Like if you're that badass, go in there and do it. Don't sit there and bitch about everybody in your lobby who's garbage.
yeah.
I
Because
agree.
there are a lot of pro players that I watch on YouTube and stuff like that. And I'm like, yo, you get paid money to sit here and goof off all day. Get out of my face with your complaints. Oh, they need to nerf this and do that. Get out of what? Shut up. Like, come on, man. You get paid to do it. Leave it alone. Just do your thing.
And I watch a lot of them that don't do it, and a lot of them are great. They realize that they've got it made. They're they're literally playing a video game for a living. They don't have to leave
Yeah.
the house. They get up, they turn on the Xbox, and they're getting paid.
Yeah.
And they realize that, and they're good about it. But there's some I've come across, and I'm just like, why be a dick? I don't
Yeah.
understand. I don't understand that. Like
Well, and
you
I guess to backtrack a little bit and clarify, some of the streamers that I watch and the pro gamers, they actually critique. They don't bitch. I mean, there's a big difference between, hey, I think this game would improve if they probably nerf some of these weapons are kind of OP. But some guys are just like, this needs to be taken out of the game. This is garbage. All they do is complain. It's like there's a difference in complaining and and trying to make suggestions on what could make it better. I'm cool if somebody critiques it, but the ones that just sit there and fuss about it, it's like, dude, get out of my face. Get out of my face.
Yeah. And by the
I
way,
agree.
they did nerf the DMR and the Mac 10 in Warzone. So,
Yes.
and another thing, I don't make buku bucks, but twitch.tv/RTR Allen. Friday and Saturday nights, I'm usually playing Call of Duty with these two jokers and a few other friends. And an idea I came up with just recently after some news came out. This spring, I'm thinking about starting a new series on my Twitch, Mass Effect Mondays.
Oh.
Steven, if you did not know, they are remastering the entire original trilogy for PC and the new consoles. So
Well,
I'm
that
thinking
sounds-
about doing a whole series playing through the entire Mass Effect trilogy again. Twitch.tv/RTR Allen. Friday and Saturday nights right now. Mondays in the future. Go just click on that little follow button. I don't make bukus of money, but I'd like to start. So twitch.tv/RTR Allen. Hit that little follow button. And your name will even pop up on my screen if you do it while I'm live. So you can have fun with that too.
Well, aside from that, my burn my biscuits. I got two of them, and one of them is, y'all know the whole shindig about how I had Starburns and all that. Well, I'm working on growing it back, and I hate the middle. A couple weeks ago, burns my biscuit was itchy. The itchy stage is gone, and now it's just patchy. Like I look half homeless if you look directly from the side. So I'm not going to turn directly to the side. You just have to assume. But there's like little patches, like little circles where the hair doesn't grow as good. You can see it. It frustrates the fire out of me. Like I said, it makes me look homeless. Like, I walk down the street and I get this feeling that somebody's like, "Hey, no, don't give him money." I'm like, I didn't ask for money. I'm just looking. I get that vibe. It hasn't happened, but I get that vibe. So that really burns my biscuits. I wish it would grow in clean all the way through where I wouldn't have to worry about it.
Oh, you're not
And the other
alone,
thing
buddy.
was, so we've been doing some grocery shopping and stuff like that, and COVID panic is really burning my biscuits with the way some people react to it. I mean, like for example, when the first wave hit, I understand you need toilet paper, but when the first wave hit, there were people walking out with 5 buggies filled with toilet paper. Like, yo, you are not going to need to wipe your ass for the next 20 years. We're not going to be strapped up that long. Why did you buy 5 grocery baskets of toilet paper? It's just like the panic and the way people are reacting to it. Like, I understand you gotta do what you need to survive, but just the panic is making people less more careless about other people. Just if you were gonna get 3 packs of toilet paper, you know what? If they're the last few on the shelf, I'm gonna leave one for somebody else. Like, people don't need to go just snagging everything up and being selfish. Like, we all need to live, and during all of it, like, I didn't buy anything special. I lived my just so everybody knows, if you're watching this, I lived my life completely normal. We didn't go to grocery store on an extra day. We didn't go buy extra things. We literally went and got the same stuff we always do, what we need for the house, and we have not been without one day since this started. So, but yeah, that's been burning me up because it really drives me up the wall how some people are treating it. And if you feel that much of a panic for it, you literally just left a whole bunch of people out to dry, getting 5 freaking buggies worth of toilet paper.
So this just occurred to me here lately. We haven't been able to find the cat litter that we normally get at Walmart, and
Are people using it in their homes?
well, so it's like every time we go, I'm like, I tell my wife, this is a damn conspiracy. Like, how can they not have any damn cat litter? And now I've put the two together. It's COVID.
Yeah.
They're getting toilet paper and cat litter.
People couldn't find toilet paper, so they bought cat litter. They filled the toilet with cat litter, and they're crapping on top of the cat litter. Boy, that's what's going on. I know it.
Good times, man. It's easier. They're saving money on water. You just get one of those scoopers and toss out the clumps and your poop, and then you're good to go.
I don't know if I could pop a spot over a box.
We should all just start using litter boxes.
I don't know if I could do it. I'd probably end up pooping on my heels or something like that. I don't think that would turn out good for me.
Well, you don't stand in the box. You just.
I don't know how it works. I'm not a fucking cat, Cody.
Meow, meow. Your cat's looking at you like, what the hell are you doing?
Human, what are you doing?
Let me show you how to do it. You have to lift.
Why are you crapping in my space?
You have to lift your tail, put an arch in your back.
Oh, and make sure you show your butthole when you do it.
Do y'all have cats?
I do not.
I don't.
I
don't
had some at one point years ago. I do not anymore.
Oh, we've got 2, and their favorite thing to do is like every time as soon as I clean the cat box and put the fresh litter in there, they both just race to go take a dump in there. Like golly, I just cleaned it.
Oh,
I think fresh litter.
I think I've owned 3 cats in my life. One of them started out as a happy story and ended as a sad story. I was walking through the Galleria one time, a long time ago, with an ex-girlfriend of mine,
Wouldn't
and
want to do that now.
we were no, I don't even go near that place. Uh, we were walking. It was getting near closing time, and we were walking by the pet store, and we went in just to look around. When the Galleria actually had a pet store in it, I think it was right there where the GameStop is at now, or right close to it, if you remember that. Or maybe it was on the bottom floor underneath where GameStop is in the Galleria by Sears.
Yeah, it was right by a department store. I remember that.
And a lady apparently had been in there earlier in the day, and they had agreed to take a kitten that they didn't want, and but they couldn't legally sell it. You know, somebody dropped it off. They said they would give it to somebody, and I was one of the last people in there. So sure, I'll take it. Had the cat, named it Samara after the girl from The Ring.
God.
Had this cat for about had the cat for about 2 years, and then there was a time when a certain brand of cat food had a recall, and by the time that recall went out, my cat had already had about half the bag and ended up dying from bad food from the factory.
That's a lawsuit, Alan. You should be rich right now.
The other one is when I was living in Jacksonville with my current wife, and she's an animal lover. Like, I have to keep an eye on her. If she sees a dog walking down the street and it doesn't have a tag, I'm gonna have a new dog. Like, that's the way it works. Like, she will go, if it has a tag, she will find this person's house and give them their dog back. But if it's no tag, then I'm gonna have a dog at least for the afternoon while she posts it all over Facebook. But anyway, we were living in Jackson, and she was working at a bar, and there was a stray cat that had kittens, and she rescued two of them. So for a few years, we had two feral cats that we tried to make house cats. They did not like to be touched. But then when we moved one of our times, so we couldn't bring them with us, and we gave them to somebody else that was a big cat lover, and we knew they'd take care of them. But I haven't had any cats since then.
Important question: did any of them teach you how to poop?
Samara did, because I had to also keep her hidden. You know how hard it is, because I was still living at home at the time as well. You know how hard it is to keep a cat hidden? I know it probably wasn't hidden. My mom's going to listen to this episode and say, yeah, we knew about that cat. We just didn't bring it up to you. But I thought it was hidden for at least 6 months. I know it wasn't hidden. I mean, they just never said anything to me.
Well, that's all right.
All right. Well, there's the first tangent of the evening. Got that out of the way. Cody, so heads up. We're gonna try out tonight. When I said at the beginning of the show that this may go off the rails a little bit, we've got several ideas for new bits that we want to try out sporadically on the show, kind of like the $1 million butt questions. But in our infinite wisdom, we've decided to put about 3 of them in one episode. And we're going to do short versions of these, and let's see how they go. Cody, what's your game?
So I don't know how I got onto this week, but I got to thinking about the show "Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader" that Jeff Foxworthy used to host, and I don't know. I just thought, I remember when the show come out, and we're like, and everybody's like, "Well, yeah, of course I'm smarter than a fifth grader, duh." And then they watch the show, and you're like, "Damn, I don't know any of this shit." Like, these questions are hard. So I decided to pick out like 10 relatively easy questions, or should be easy to ask these guys.
I've told you.
Oi!
No, you're not going to have to, I guarantee you, because I've already warned Cody. Like, if you look up Kelly Pickler's appearance on Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader, I'm about to look dumber than Kelly Pickler. Like, you could have asked her what color a red Corvette is, and she would have said blue, and I feel like I'm about to be that stupid.
All right, so I guess you can buzz in, so we know what Steve is. Go ahead and give it to us, Steven.
Oi!
What you gonna do, Alan?
I don't. Ooh.
I like it.
Metal growl. There we go.
That figures. Okay, so there's 10 questions, and I have a tiebreaker, and this will be like whose lines it anyway. Whoever wins, you win nothing.
Yeah.
So, first question from Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin were the first two men in the entire world to do what?
I know
Now,
this
that was
one.
close.
You can give it to
Oh.
him. We'll figure. Well, you can give it to Steven.
All right,
God's
Steven.
moon.
Huh?
The moon. Go to the moon.
Walk on the moon?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
That
did
is
know
right.
that for what it's worth.
1 point for Steven. All right, question 2. The Statue of Liberty was a gift from what country?
Ooh.
Alan.
I'm about to look really smart or really dumb. It was France, right?
It was France.
Yeah.
Tied 1-1. See, these aren't that bad, right?
No, I don't think so at all.
All right, question 3. Who invented the light bulb?
Oi!
Oh, I know this one. Damn it.
Thomas
Steven.
Edison.
That is correct.
I delayed.
These aren't that bad.
Yeah, but he hasn't done math questions.
No, these are all history and geography. I stayed away from the math because I think it would be hard to get across on the
Yeah,
show.
I don't need none of those
Not
common
pictures.
core questions. Rubbish.
The first 10 amendments to the Constitution are called what?
Oi!
All right, so I saw Steven's hands and I heard Alan.
We actually just had this conversation. You go ahead, Alan.
Yeah, go ahead, Alan.
I feel like I cheated on this one. It's the Bill of Rights.
That is correct.
Yeah, we just talked about that at work.
Yeah. So this next question I have changed. It was, who was George Washington? But we just talked about, I gave y'all this as an example of how easy these are. So I've changed it to, the 5th question is now, who was John Adams?
Oh, God.
Do we have
What?
to give the number?
Oi.
Yes, you have to give the number.
Oh, I don't have a clue.
So, like, I'll be 100% honest with everybody out there. I know my first president and my 6th president when it comes to 16th. When it comes to history, I'm going to go with 5th for John Adams.
That is incorrect. Alan, do you have a guess?
Third.
No, that was Thomas Jefferson.
I don't know shit.
The John Adams was the 2nd president of the United States.
God.
Okay, and just for clarification and to show my complete ignorance, John Adams and John Quincy Adams, those are 2 different people, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we had multiple John Adams presidents.
All right. Question 6. We're still tied 2-2. The Emancipation Proclamation did what?
It emancipated
bad.
us from something.
All right, Steven.
I don't sound stupid, but wasn't it for territory?
No. Negative.
You hesitated like it could have been.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Alan?
Did this happen before or after we had that nice little tea party with the Brits?
I can't tell you till you answer.
I don't.
Because I didn't give Steve any hints.
I don't have a clue.
All right. The Emancipation Proclamation freed the slaves.
Oh, that's gonna look really bad.
Yeah, this is bad, guys. We're sorry, Stanley, when you watch this one.
Yeah, now we look like uncultured swine.
Look, I'm more disappointed in Steven because he said he knew who the 16th president was and didn't know that.
Accurate. That
All
makes
right.
it even worse, yeah.
4 questions left. Still tied 2-2. Oh, I didn't realize it was worded like this. Okay, this makes it easier, I hope. Name 2 of Columbus's 3 ships?
Ooh, rawr, rawr, rawr,
Oh,
rawr.
that was Alan.
Do I get bonus points? Nina, Pinta, and Santa Maria.
You do not get bonus points, but you do get 1 point.
Damn it.
Good job. Question 8. Who wrote the national anthem of the United States of America?
I'm about to feel just like Kelly Pickler. I don't know why this name is popping in my head, but this is going to be really bad. I'm going to look so damn dumb.
Let's hear it,
For
Alan.
some reason, this name popped in my head. Susan B. Anthony? That's not right at all.
No.
I know
No,
she
that
got
is
her
not
face on a
right.
quarter or a dollar, a silver dollar, right?
They are the silver dollar, I think. What about you, Steven? What do you think?
Dude, I have no idea. That's music, right? No, count me out.
That was a little unfair. Francis Scott Key.
That's right. I know that. I didn't. I don't know it. I know it now. Thank you, Cody.
Okay, Alan is up 3-2 with 2 questions left.
Heyo.
I do have a tiebreaker if we get to that. How many continents are there?
Oi.
Alan,
7.
Yeah.
that is correct.
Yeah.
And just because I went through the trouble to print this off, I'm going to go ahead and ask the last question, even though Alan is mathematically won.
We can turn the tiebreaker into a tie maker question.
Okay. Sounds good. What is the longest river in the world?
Ooh.
Oi.
Alan. I mean,
No, Steven.
The Nile River.
And is it world or in the? You said
In the
world,
world.
right? Okay.
Yeah, the Nile is not right.
Oh. I'm
gonna have to go. The answer is not right, but just so I spit out an answer, I was gonna say the mighty Mississippi, but that's not right either. It's not even close.
The Amazon River.
Okay.
Ooh. So what's the tie maker?
The tiebreaker question was, and I was gonna have y'all go closest to without going over. How many miles from the Earth to the Moon?
That's not a 5th grade question.
That's no way.
It is.
Closest without going over, miles to the moon.
Well, I mean, not that part, but the miles to the moon.
Okay. Is
from
it
the Earth
so?
to
We're
the moon.
okay, but hold on. We're going prices right.
Yeah.
I'm going with 100,000.
I don't think it's that much. I'm gonna go with 20. I'm trying to not go over. I know it's
Just
I know it's quote unquote 3,000 miles from East Coast to West Coast. Right, quote unquote. Everybody says there's 3,000 miles apart, and they're talking about living in New York and California. I'm gonna say 20.
Are you doing the map thing now? You're like, okay, this is 3,000.
Yeah, exactly.
If I take the state and I flip it, and then I flip
I'm
it
saying
again,
20,000. It's my equivalent of saying $1 because I know it's less than 100,000.
All right. The answer is 238,900
God!
miles.
tie maker. We tie. That's why it's a tie maker question.
That's right. I think you were so much closer than Alan that it's worth 3 points.
Yes.
That's not the way it works. He still has to get lucky at Plinko.
And as before, you win nothing.
Yay.
So it wasn't that bad.
I think next time I ask the questions because I'm a dumbass.
So technically, because I think we were what, 7 for 10?
Between the two of
7
us?
for 11.
Between the two of us. So
7 for 11?
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I think our odds, because honestly, everyone you answered, I knew. And I think that was the same for you. The ones I answered, you were like, oh, I know that one.
Most
So,
of
I mean,
them.
7 for 11, I don't feel bad about.
I'm a little
Oh,
disappointed that.
yeah. You don't have to bring it back up. That's in the past.
Okay,
it
I
looks
won't.
it looks bad enough. Okay, people can rewind it and watch that part again. We all look stupid and we're about to look. We don't need to relive that. Steven, you were up next. What did you want to present?
Okay, so this was an interesting thought, and this is something that I didn't hear from anything else, but it kind of hit me. If you know, in a perfect world, of course, you know, you're not married, you don't have any children, you're by yourself, whatever. If you were going to be set up with a woman, or if you're watching the podcast, if you're a woman and you already set up with a man, what is the one feature that you want? So, for example, you know, if a matchmaker comes up to you and says, "Hey, choose one thing about a person," and I will strictly look for that feature, and that's what I'm going to match you up based off of. So, if you're a leg person, the guy or girl might have the best legs you've ever seen, and that's all you get to marry them or be with them off of. Or if you're a lip person, or if you're a personality person, if you
Okay.
like a man or woman who tells jokes, that's all they go off of. What would it be? Your one feature.
For me, if I'm taking this question seriously, I am going to bitch out a little bit and say personality. If I'm looking for somebody I can stay with, looking like I got to be able to get along. They can look hot as crap. I mean, but if, in my opinion, I mean, that only goes so far. I mean,
Yeah,
they could be absolutely stunningly gorgeous and then piss you off every time they open their mouth. I mean, we gotta have I'm going with personality, similar interest.
that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm the same way. They got to be. They got to have a good sense of humor. They got to be able to put up with some aggravation. I like to pick and poke uh,
If my wife watches this,
and
comment and be like,
pick
"This
on
guy
and
right here picks and pokes nonstop."
yep, me too. And it took my wife a long time to come around, and now she gives it back just as much as I give it to her. So, it, yeah, personalities, it's got to happen.
Yeah.
But if we're gonna go superficial stuff here, typically I'm a blonde person. I like blondes.
All right. All right.
I
What about
mean,
you,
So,
Alan? What's a superficial thing for you? Redheads?
I mean, redhead's gonna be my preferred, but if we're going really superficial, and you want me to be completely honest, I mean, I'm a top half guy. You can have a rear end that's flatter than a sheet of lumber at Home Depot. I don't care. It does not bother me. You could like stand a 2x4 up, and that's what your butt can look like. I don't care. I'm a top side guy. And when I say that, they don't even have to be big. They can be little. They just the shape. They have to look nice. I like the.
I,
I don't care.
I'm
Big, small. I don't. Size
not
doesn't
sure
matter.
about
I
this.
just like nice looking ones.
So, for me, um, I think that I could close my eyes and choose off of singing voice. This is what kind of sparked this question is that I was listening to like I was YouTubing top best voices on YouTube or whatnot, and there are some people out there that really got guys and girls apiece that have just amazing voices. Like they just start singing a song and they don't have all this computer animated stuff that go along with them. That none of that auto tune and whatnot. Just their natural voice, and God, some of those voices just knocked me on my feet. Like they sounded so pretty. It was awesome. So I could literally like if I was on like a show like The Bachelor, I would close my eyes the entire show, and everybody would have to take turns singing.
They have a show similar to that. It's called The Voice.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying like that would be my one thing. And if I had to go official, it would be the face. Kind of like Alan with the bottom down. At anything below the neck, I mean, if they have, I don't care. I don't care.
So I'm right the opposite. You need to
I
have
mean, they can
a little bit
have
of something
no.
on both ends. If you're if you're just flat all the way down,
Yeah, it's tough. Well, I mean, like literally, like that. I mean, she could look like the pirate from Family Guy as long as she had a pretty face. I'm good with it.
Cody,
Yeah, 4 nubs. It was 4 peg limbs.
I know. I know the episode.
Cody, your answer just reminded me of a Rodney Carrington song. It says, "I like my women like I like my chicken with a little bit of fat on the end." Not too much and
Exactly.
not too little, just enough to make me grin. All right. Well, while we're on
Gotta have a little
this,
something to hold at night, right?
yeah, exactly. There's nothing wrong with that. Got a little bubble to grab. Okay. Cody, next bit. Yeah, continuing this on. What was your next part for us, Cody?
Oh, so we this is something we get into a lot at work, and so I got to thinking, instead of us talking about how good looking some of these actresses are, or these singers or whatever, let's pick a time when you thought they were the best looking, and you can make that time a movie they were in, maybe the when that song came out, or the music video for that song, or anything like that. Something where you can put a time frame on it, but not necessarily a year. But it'd be easier just to name the movie or video or whatever.
Yep.
And some of them I had was like Britney Spears never looked any better to me than she did when she first come on the scene with "Hit Me Baby One More Time." I am a I am a sucker for schoolgirl outfit and pigtails.
Yeah. I mean, how about Christina Aguilera, Genie in a Bottle?
That was good too. That was good. Another one I had was Katy Perry in the California Girls video.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
One of my
Drew Barrymore
okay.
in Charlie's Angels. She
Okay.
was ripe for the picking.
Yep, all right.
And I'm not a Megan Fox fan, but she
Transformers.
looked fantastic in Transformers.
Yeah.
God.
You know where else she looked really good for my taste? You know where else she looked? Did you ever see the movie? What was it called? Megan's Body, the horror movie she was in with Amanda
Uh,
Seyfried.
Yeah.
Where she plays like the goth girl who's like, yeah, she's a plays a monster. Like, spoiler
Yeah.
alert, a little bit, but you need to check that movie out, Cody. You need to watch Megan's Body. It's Megan's Body, right? Is that what it's called?
I think so.
Uh,
So, to kind of spark a question, Cody, you got me curious. Especially since you're not really a Megan Fox fan, is it the fact that she looked so good for that movie, or her under the hood of a car knowing what she was doing? Is that what got you?
Jennifer's Body is the name of the movie. Jennifer's Body.
no, what I meant by that was that if I see her like in People magazine or at the Oscars on the red carpet,
You're like, okay,
I don't think she's attractive at all
Who?
to me,
Megan
Megan Fox. But in Transformers, she was smoking hot in
She
Transformers.
was, and in that still they had where that was the promo shot where she's got her hand up and she's leaned over the steaming car.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but
Or when
mine,
she's working on the bike, I think that might be in the second movie.
uh,
The motorcycle.
one of the main one that hit me when you brought this up, to no surprise of anybody that knows me personally, is I'm going with Allison Hannigan in the first season of Buffy, throughout the entire run, but mainly that first season of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This dorky, geeky redhead. Oh. I mean, no. Allison Hannigan, like she's still gorgeous to this day. But
I think she looks as good now as she ever has.
yeah, but
Doing
when
the
she was just
Interstellar show,
yeah, but when
she's
she
she
that
looks
first
great.
season of Buffy, where she's just this dorky redhead, everybody else watched Buffy because they thought Sarah Michelle Gellar was hot, and Sarah Michelle Gellar looked good. I mean, I'm not going to deny that, but look, I watched that show for Allison Hannigan for Willow. Yeah, that was a great. I love Allison Hannigan.
Did you have a second one, Alan? Or
I
another one?
no, not that I can think of off the top of my
So
head.
I have two, surprisingly enough, and y'all know one of them, so I'm gonna go with that one second. But this one's you're probably gonna be like, well, I didn't even think about that. But Jennifer Lopez in the movie Anaconda,
It's been so long since I've seen that movie.
she had that Jungle Trek look, and she was a lot younger. I I thought she was in her, to me, like that for that movie, what, 20 years ago now, she was in her prime. Like, dude, Jennifer Lopez in Anaconda was righteous.
When she came out with Jenny on the Block,
I'm
or
still
Jenny of the
Jenny
Block,
from
or
the Jenny
Yeah.
whatever, no, that
from
album,
from.
the album cover for that, or maybe it was the inside the book, little booklet comes with it. She looked good in that. I would go with that for her for me.
So my other one is Jennifer Aniston, and the timeline for that is super hard because I'm pretty sure she has discovered the fountain of youth, and when she was 22, she stopped aging, and she's just looked exactly the same for like the past 40 years. Jennifer Aniston has figured something out. Wow. But one particular scene in a movie that came to mind was We Are the Millers when they get caught in that weird drug bust situation and she's having to prove her way out of it. And I'm like,
American Woman. That's a great song.
yeah. So that would probably be my one. But you know what? Surprisingly enough, if you look at her timeline, just like one of her latest things. I mean,
Yeah.
I think she was like what 48 or something like that when she did that movie. Just wow.
One fun fact: have you ever watched all the way through the credits and watched the blooper reel that airs during the credits?
No.
You need look it up on YouTube. They play this joke
Oh,
on it.
great.
It's one of the RV scenes where they're all like driving around in the RV, and they're flipping through different songs where the kid's singing. You know, the boy is singing, and all of a sudden you hear ding 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 ding. It's the Friends theme comes on, and they all start singing it to her, and they all. And she's just sitting there with her head in her hands, cracking up laughing. It's great.
So for Jennifer Aniston, I would go like The Breakup with Vince Vaughn.
That was
Yeah, she looked good in that movie.
oh.
And you're gonna go when she gets a little older. Just Go With It.
Yeah.
She looked really good in that one.
No,
I feel good about
I think you're right though. I think longevity wise, I think she's got to be up there with one of the all time greats as far as acting ability and looks. I mean, I know she's probably paid for some of it, but she got real good doctors who made it look relatively natural. She still looks great.
So, and all three of us are straight men, but I feel it's only fair for some of our female watchers. I would like to point out Chris Pratt, like especially in Parks and Rec, was a complete dad bod. But when he was in Guardians of the Galaxy, dude freaking ripped up to do that, and he didn't lose him for it. Like he looks the same in all of his clothes and all that. He just doesn't look like a dad bod. So
Look.
like in that scene where his shirt was off and he was jacked, I was like, "Good God, Chris, well done, sir."
Well, look, let's be honest.
Thor.
Let's be honest. In the most completely hetero way possible, women have plenty to look at in the MCU universe. All three Chris's are like you know how women look at magazines and they're like, I'll never look like that. That's you can't achieve that. That's unachievable. That's Photoshop. They have money. You know, all three Chris's are unachievable. I will never look like Chris Pratt, Chris Hemsworth, or Chris Evans. Never. I don't care how much time I spend in the gym.
Now wait
I
a minute. Wait a minute. When Chris Hemsworth was Fat Thor, I think I could do it.
I can do it.
I can get there.
So I'll say this though is like I think you could ask my wife a million times. Like if I had to choose one person, she'd probably go with Chris Hemsworth because every time we watch Avengers: Infinity War, when he's getting his axe made and he has to hold the neutron star open, every time he's in that scene, I'm like, yo, look at those freaking biceps, dude. Those things are freaking ridiculous. Like he just has some freaking insane biceps that just what?
My wife likes Hawkeye.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
You know what? He I wonder if he actually has like a real lean because like he doesn't show off like the rest of the Avengers do. I mean, even Robert Downey Jr. in one of his movies was um, uh, Sherlock Holmes. He had a shirt off in one of those boxing, and I was like, oh crap, Robert Downey Jr. You don't ever see that from him. But when he was had his shirt off boxing, you were like, well, that's all right. Look at that. He don't got cut up for it.
He's not in the MCU, but my wife's other go-to is Gerard Butler.
Yes,
Oh,
my
yeah.
wife too. She absolutely loves
My
him.
wife will watch sad movies just because he's in it. Like that's why she watched P.S. I Love You was because Gerard Butler was in it. Like
I think we should go this route, Cody. Which do you know your wife's one? Like, if she had to choose a famous person, who would it be?
Okay, so this is tricky because she absolutely loves Patrick Swayze, but
current or
unfortunately,
ghosts? Like end of career or ghost era?
I guess when he was younger, like
Dirty Dancing.
Roadhouse, Dirty Dancing,
Okay.
Ghost. I guess. I can't remember how new or old that was. I've watched it, but I don't remember what year it came out. She loves Gerard Butler. In fact, I turned her on to the movie. Oh crap!
P.S. I Love You.
No,
The
he's got a
Bodyguard.
TV. He's got a.
The Ugly
He's
Truth.
on a radio show and he's talking
The
about
Ugly Truth?
love.
Oh,
Yes,
Yeah.
the ugly truth. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So she loves the part at the end when he's when they're doing the salsa dancing. Him and
Uh-huh.
Katherine Heigl. Uh-oh.
I just want to show y'all something. I've got to try and show this to y'all on screen. Apparently, my wife is standing right outside the door listening to 1/3 of this podcast right now. Because I just got this. I just got this in a text message.
Oh, there he is, Mr. Butler.
So my wife,
My wife's crazy about it.
Jason Statham. She has her heart on him. Like she likes watching Jason Statham. So I just figured since Alan shared, I figured all
Oh,
of
wow. It's okay.
it.
All right, so we've talked about our what we like in girls. If it was a perfect world, we weren't married and all that, and we'll continue this on. If we weren't married, Stephen had a wonderful idea, but I think he messed up a little by putting quotations around a certain word. So we'll see where this goes. Stephen, you wanted to know our best quote unquote clean pickup lines, and I think you may have shot yourself in the foot by putting the quotations around clean. So none of mine are overtly vulgar, but I've got 4. Do we want to rotate around so that I don't give all 4 at once, or do we want to give all 4 then you give some? Like how do we want to do this?
I mean, I have like one favorite that I was just gonna share. So I mean, I have of course there's the classic ones, but I have one that's not really classic, but it's really good. So y'all can go ahead and I'll share mine at the end.
Okay, so
Do me a favor though, to make it fun. Tell me as if you were trying to pick me up at the bar right now. Oh yeah, buddy. Come on. Hit me with it. Take me home.
You ready for this, Steven?
Oh yeah.
you going first, Cody?
I got to get this one out of the way.
Go.
Hey, does this smell like chloroform?
You definitely make me home, I guess.
I'm Cody. Just kidding. I'm Cody. Totally stole that from the Hall Pass. But that is an excellent scene in that.
Okay, here we go. Hey, baby, roses are red, violets are fine. You be the 6 and I'll be the 9.
Woo!
Oh man.
All right, Cody, you go.
Guys, I gotta be honest. I have never really even been in the game. I've married to my high school sweetheart, so I couldn't even come up with a serious one. All of mine would literally be from Hall Pass.
Okay, well, I got
Are
a
you from
few.
Ireland?
Okay, here we go. Are you a campfire? Because you're hot and I want s'more.
Ooh. Oh my. That one might get me.
A little innuendo there.
Oh.
Okay. I got a few more, but they're funny. They're worth it. Okay. Hey, baby, you can call me Nemo because I'm never afraid to touch the butt.
Disney pun. I love it.
How about we play Winnie the Pooh and I can get my get my nose stuck in your honey jar? And my last one for the night. I'm jealous of your heart because it's pounding inside you and I'm not.
Oh, God. Oh my. So I wasn't gonna share the dirt because I have one like trademark dirty. I've never used it, but always thought it was funny, and I would think it would be disgusting for somebody to ever actually use it, but the idea is hilarious. I got a knife and a penis, and one of them's going in you tonight.
Oh, look.
I do not promote that. I hope nobody ever uses it. But when I saw that somebody had wrote that on Reddit, I died laughing. I was like, "Yo, if anybody ever uses that, there's two scenarios: the cops get called, or they have some 50 Shades of Grey type sex, like that, 90 to nothing. One of the
Oh, look, if any of mine worked on a girl in real life, that girl needs therapy. I mean, I'm sorry, but mine are strictly for laughs. If you find any of that, you better be more attracted to the sense of humor and the fact that I had the balls to say that than to actually react to that line.
But my actual absolute favorite, the one that I thought, and it's doable. The average Joe could go up and do it. And if you time it right and catch it around the 4th of July, it works even better. So you go up on a scale of 1 to America, how free are you tonight? Oh, man. Every time. I bet that is 100% pass rate.
Oh, look,
That sounds like a Will Ferrell pickup line.
you could go with another classic, How much does a polar bear weigh? Enough to break the ice. I'm Alan. What's your name?
Also Hall Pass.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got that out of our systems. Hope you enjoyed it.
Say that we have no chance. We need to just stay married.
No. I've never had to use a pickup line in my life, and I think that's quite obvious.
Either.
But people, let us know some of your favorite pickup lines that you've heard or maybe that you've experienced and what your reaction was. Let us know these stories.
Yes.
The next game we're going to try out tonight, I'll be honest, I delayed. We talked about it Monday at work, and I didn't put any effort into it last night. So I worked this out about 10 minutes before we hit record on this podcast. So if this goes over well, I will put more thought into it next time. But we like to make fun of Steven because he doesn't know much about music. And so I was trying to describe a band to him the other day by giving him hints on the band's name and make him figure the band's name out without me actually telling him. So we're going to play a game called Guess the Band Name. Cody, you are free to play. No points. Nobody wins. Nobody cares. Okay, so I'm going to describe a band using a random description. You have to guess the band name. The first two are softballs. These are easy, Steven. These are easy. Cody, give Steven a chance to answer because you're probably going to know these.
I will only answer in the event that
he
Steven
d-
has no answer.
Okay.
Oh, that sounds good. So you'll answer all of them.
Band one. Two different types of electrical currents.
Positive, negative.
No, think a little deeper. Cody got it instantly. I can see it in his eyes.
Come on, Steven. Back in Black,
Oh,
Thunderstruck.
okay. So I was ACDC. Whoop, whoop.
There you go.
I believe.
Bits on the board.
It is AC/DC. Second one also should be a softball, especially based on this definition. Should be a softball. The opposite of white and another word for Sunday.
Black Sabbath.
You got it. All right. Okay. Okay. The next few. The next few. I had to think of really fast because we were coming up on recording time.
Before we get to the hard ones, should we let everybody know what sparked this game? The actual name of the band. Could you re-go through that description for me?
Yes. We were listening to what song were we listening to?
I don't even remember it, but I remember my answer was Catfish Baptist.
The description I gave him was a color, a shellfish, and a church you wouldn't want to attend.
I don't think originally you said shellfish. You came back and
Seafood. I said seafood originally.
Seafood. So apparently I don't want to attend a Baptist church. But so that's what kind of sparked this game. Is he was like, yeah, it's a color, a seafood, and a church you don't want to go to. And for some reason, the first thing that came out of my mouth was Catfish Baptist.
And for those of you wondering, the answer was Blue Oyster Cult.
Yeah, I really didn't even bother with a color. I just went with Catfish Baptist. Okay, now for the hard balls.
Okay. Blue and yellow as the Earth makes a full revolution around the sun. As the Earth makes, not around the sun, I screwed up. I had to rewrite it. Blue and yellow as the Earth makes a full revolution.
Green Day!
See, I'm trying to help you out. I put your favorite band in there.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yes!
Okay. Next band. If the leader of England was around in the time of the Flintstones. Ooh, I got them both stumped.
King of Caveman?
Number one, England doesn't have a king.
Not right now they don't, but they did.
Okay, well I made this description today. So.
Okay. So
what was the last part of it again?
If the leader of England was around in the times of the Flintstones.
Queens of the Stone Age?
You got it.
all right.
All right, let's see which one of y'all can get this one first, because this one's pretty straight to the point. So we'll go with whoever can get it first. Half a minute to Earth's neighbor.
30 seconds to the moon?
You're halfway right. I wouldn't
30
consider
seconds to the sun?
Cody, you know it.
What is it again? I'm sorry.
Half a minute to Earth's neighbor.
30 Seconds to Mars.
There you go.
I was getting there.
I was like, the moon's right there. What's closer than that?
All I can think about is Third Rock from the Sun, but that's a
I
song.
almost said that too.
That's a Joe Diffie song.
like,
You know what? We were,
saying-
I forget why we were doing it. I think it was because we started watching the show on Amazon Prime a little while ago, and I was playing the song for Jamie, the Joe Diffie song. Welcome to Earth, Third Rock from the Sun. I still know. I found out just by playing that song that I still know every lyric to that song. And yes, I'm a metalhead, and I know every lyric to Joe Diffie's Third Rock from the Sun.
Classic.
Cause and effect, chain of events, all of the chaos makes perfect sense. I know it. We're good. See, I know my music, all genres. We're good. I'm not going to sing anymore because people are going to start turning this shit off. But talking about songs that you remember from your past, what is a song that whenever you hear it, you can still maintain your day-to-day job? You may be driving, you may be at work, but anytime you hear a song, what song just takes you, like you daydream, like you can see where you were, you can like almost like smell the time you were in? Like, what song is that for you? And just to kick things off, because I only thought of this was my idea, and I only thought of one, and these two have multiple. But so mine is the Atari's version of Boys of Summer, the Don Henley cover. And for me, like, I can't describe it. It's just that time in my life when that song came out. Like, I remember like hanging with my friends in summer, like late nights, windows down, the pop punk rock music blasting out the car, driving down the interstate, going to hang out at the bowling alley and, you know, look at the girls there, or going down to the beach during the summer, you know, and like that song, like everything from like age 18 to like 20 or like 21 to 23 just comes flashing back to me, and like I can see everything, I can smell everything, like the air, the night summer air coming into the car with all the windows rolled down. That song just takes me back. I love that song.
So I have two songs, and one of them is a lot like what you just described. It gives me the same feeling, and it is Sonny and Cher, so happy together. And what the reason for that one is because when Super Smash Brothers originally came out on the Nintendo 64, the commercial had that song playing in it. Like, you had Mario and Yoshi and Donkey Kong kind of hopping in a field, and the record scratches, and they start fighting. And Super Smash Brothers, the game, kind of came out.
I
And
remember that commercial.
every time I hear that song, I think about it, kind of like the same feeling and vibes that you get from your song. It's it reminds me of the buddy. It just mine was like 8 years sooner than yours, because I wasn't riding around the car and going to I was riding my bike around the neighborhood, and we were playing flashlight tag with the lightning bugs out and stuff like that when we were kids. Like, my best friend Ben lived together, and all we did was get together every weekend. We had like 8 guys, and we rode bikes, and we played baseball and stuff like that. And that song brings me back to where we played video games all weekend and stuff like that. And then my second one, slight backstory, is by Cat Stevens. I don't think Cat Stevens is the original singer of it, but Cat's in the Cradle. But I have a sister that's 18 years older than me. Huge gap.
Huge
But
gap.
that being said, with my parents being much older than me, 50, 60 years older than me, and my sister being 18 years older than me, I mean, it's kind of, I grew up listening to oldies. So when I hear Cats in the Cradle, I think about it, and it reminds me of my family. It kind of brings me back to some of the silly things we did, the vacations we went on, and stuff like that.
That's cool. I can appreciate old songs like that too, and I can definitely see how that would remind you of your childhood, especially with a gap that big. I mean,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
What you
Yeah,
got
that
for
would be
us?
good. That's good stuff.
That's an excellent song too. Like I said, I'll proclaim again. Everybody that knows me knows I'm a metalhead, like annoyingly so. But I still Cats in the Cradle is an excellent song. I mean, my mom grew me up on early '90s WZZK. I mean,
Together then, yeah. Love that song. It's probably one of the few songs on the planet that I think it's been a long time since I sung it that I know all the lyrics to. I think. Don't put a gun to my head and tell me to sing it. I'll forget all of them. I don't know.
oh,
The first thing I thought of when he said, "I think Cat Stevens wrote it," is I was like, "There's no way that's right."
Yeah,
Just
I
because
don't
it's
think.
coming from Steven, but I
here,
don't know. It might be right. I'm not
here's
sure.
here's some food for
I don't
thought.
know if he's the original artist.
Here's some food for thought before we get to Cody's song because I will forget this if I have to wait. So I apologize for interrupting.
No, go ahead.
Do either of y'all have a song that without the music playing you could quote the lyrics word for word without missing a beat? Like gun to your head, you could quote a song without messing up with no music. You could just quote the lyrics.
Colt 45.
Just any song?
Any song? Is there any song you know all the lyrics? No. I mean, I don't want to like cheap out and go like a church hymnal. Like Amazing Grace doesn't count. If you choose Amazing Grace, it's got to be all four verses. Like modern rock, pop song, like anything in the last. I mean, we'll go 40 years, 80s forward. But like it has to be like a song, not Amazing Grace. Like we ain't talking about that.
Colt 45 and two zigzags. Baby, that's all we need. That's mine.
Okay,
Colt 45.
what you got, Cody?
Oh, I got a bunch.
Oh, okay.
Just
So,
about any Eagle song, I could recite the lyrics.
see, my problem is I like this question, but I can't think of any of the songs that I do know right now. But honestly, it's embarrassing, but it would probably be "Whoop." There it is.
Whoop, there it is.
Tag team back again. Party on, party people, let me hear some noise. DC's in the house, jump, jump for joy. There's a party over here, party over there. Throw your hands in the air, shake your derriere. These three words when you're getting busy. Whoop, there it is.
When I hear that song, all I can think of is Major Payne when he's dancing dancing after dinner.
Yeah.
I've been known to cut a little rug in my day.
Excellent movie. We will have we will have to have a movie special sometime and talk about these classic movies.
Yes.
The first song that I thought of when y'all brought this up was Black Hole Sun by Soundgarden. Every time I hear that song, it takes me back to probably late elementary school or sometime in middle school, playing Magic the Gathering by myself in the living room. When I would get home, my brother just about 7.5 years older than me. So at this point, he was graduated and I was working somewhere, maybe Walmart. But my parents weren't home when I got home, so I had a lot of time to myself um, when I got home from school. So I would I would play this song on repeat. I had a really nice stereo, well, nice to me anyway, stereo system, and I would play that song on repeat for hours, a couple hours until somebody got home, and I would sit on the floor and I would play Magic the Gathering with myself, and so that song always takes me back to that. I I don't know why. I just for whatever reason I really liked that song at that time, and of course I still like it,
I mean, it's an excellent song too. I mean,
it always takes
everything
me
else
back.
aside,
I can guess that.
Some other ones I had is like, I mean, obviously my wedding song, "Watch This" by Clay Walker. You know, anytime I hear that song, uh, it takes me back to when me and my wife got married.
Aww.
Uh, "Around the World" by the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Around.
So, me and my dad used to play golf all the time, every weekend, and this song came on one day on the way to the golf course, and of course, we liked the song. Well, my dad played outstanding that day. And so it kind of came a running thing that every time if we heard that song on the radio on the way to the golf course, it was going to be a good day. We were going to play good. And I've always remembered that. And so every time I hear that song, I always think back to that old blue Ford pickup truck and riding with my dad to the golf course. That's
I
good
like it.
memories. If I hear anything from Grease, the soundtrack,
I got chills,
Patsy Cline,
been
Uh,
multiplying,
Gretchen Wilson,
and I'm
it
blue.
takes me back to my mom singing karaoke uh, at the house. And we had a little single wide trailer, and my mom bought this little karaoke machine, and she would sing her heart out. My mom has a voice of an angel. I love to hear my mom sing, and she would get in there and sing Patsy Cline and the Grease album, and so I mean I know all those songs too. So
you want to
that's
know
where I
an
get my oldies stuff from.
you want to know another embarrassing fact real quick?
What's that?
I Now I'm not saying I can do it good, but I could do karaoke to Redneck Woman. I know all those words too.
With a baby on my hip. And then the most recent one I have is "Hell of an Amen" by Brantley Gilbert.
It's a good song. I like
Yeah,
Brantley Gilbert.
every time I hear that song, I think about a friend of mine who passed away a couple years ago from cancer. We were really close. We used to fish. He taught me everything I know about fishing and just a lot about life in general. Great guy. And that song always makes me think of him just because they both, you know, deal with cancer and stuff like that. So that was the big ones I could think of. I mean, I've got hundreds though. I got a lot of songs that I hear, and isn't that crazy how the brain works? You can smell something, and it takes you. It's kind of like on Ratatouille, where ego takes the bite of the ratatouille, and it takes him all the way back to the child, and
Right.
he remembers that he at one time he used to love food.
Yeah.
It's just amazing that the mind can do that.
It's crazy how you like I said, and I brought like this popped up in my head because I listen to music all day at work, and it's a song, my song, the Ataris' "Boys of Summer." I've heard it thousands of times at this point. But I was just sitting there. I was working. I was processing paperwork, and it came on. That opening riff. I'm like, I mean, I kept working, but I'm like, I'm in the back of my friend's car. All the windows are rolled down, and we're driving down 280 at 11:30 midnight. Headed for the bowling alley. I mean, like, and then or like some other time, like that's where I was mentally. Like, it's instant. I heard that
Yeah.
opening riff.
Oh, I got one more. I just remembered this one. Do y'all remember the song? I don't remember who sings it now, but it's just too high for the
Too
supermarket,
high.
too high for the grocery store. So I remember when that song came out, me and my brother, we used to sing that song all the time at the house. We loved that song.
Yes.
So that makes me think of my brother when I hear that song.
All right. Well, that was fun. I should have come up with a few more. If I would have put more thought into it, I could have thought up a lot of mine. Like hit me as they come up. Like you've got a list that you can think of, and you can go listen to those. Mine, for some reason, these song titles and artists don't stick in my head, but like when they pop up, like it's just like a surprise teleport. Like I'm listening to music, and then all of a sudden, whoa, where? I'm like, it just happens. But early this morning, Steven put a something in our show notes that caught me off guard, and I told him to save any explanation because I wanted to know why he thought this. And so he brought up the topic of underrated bands. I'm like, okay, cool, we can do that. I'm the music guy. We can talk about underrated bands. But then the example he gave me was Beastie Boys.
So hold on, I didn't just put underrated, right? I put. Oh, wait, I want to make sure. underrated / less talked about. So, and I don't think Beastie Boys in particular is underrated. Of course, because you sent me the list of, they have like 5 number ones, and that, they're huge. They're not underrated. So that's why I put the / less talked about, because how often do you hear the Beastie Boys names today?
Well, in all fairness, I mean, you've got a point, but in all fairness, one of them passed away a few years ago, and they haven't done anything
Yeah.
lately.
So that being said, it wasn't so much of like bands, just solely bands that are underrated, but there's a lot of groups out there that at one point in time, you like your Atari, Boys of Summer, you could have listened to that album like straight for a month,
Right.
but they just stopped being talked about, And Beastie Boys was one for it, because like I grew up, like one of my best friends listened to the Beastie Boys, so I listened to the Beastie Boys all the time and knew they were popular and everybody loved them, but it was almost it's almost like a one hit wonder, so to speak, where you hear from them for like 5 years and that's it. Unlike it, for example, Elvis Presley. Elvis Presley's name will never fade away. I mean, his name will be here 100 years from now. He was the, yeah, So he just he gives off that vibe, and his name is going to keep going. But there are groups like the Beastie Boys, like you read out their resume earlier,
Right.
but if you try to talk to somebody about the Beastie Boys, like somebody who's in college right now, they're gonna be like, "What?" I feel right now they are very like under talked about. Like Beastie Boys is, and what brought it up is I was listening to one of their songs. Like, man, the Beastie Boys used to kill it, dude. Like their music was awesome to listen to. It was all funky, and you just wanted to get to dancing and whatnot. And then people just kind of stopped talking about them.
Right. Yeah, because
They were never hated or disliked or not good. They were always good. But people just stopped talking about them. Of course, we listen to Nicki Minaj, but it's like, but I wanted to bring that up because I mean, do y'all have anything in mind that like if you brought it up right now, today's youth probably wouldn't know who or what they were, but at their time, holy crap, they were on top of the world, dude. Like,
Oh, I mean, me? I could go too deep for this podcast, but I have completely different musical taste, and that's not. You did a better job of explaining it there than you did in our show notes.
I'm just trying
But
to get it quick point so we can talk about it.
I came prepared with what I consider an underrated band by the definition of underrated, and I was going to bring up Tool. Tool has a diehard, loyal fan base. If you're a Tool fan, like you know everything about them, you probably own every album. Half of you probably own it on vinyl. Like Tool has some diehard fans, but I don't think any of their albums have ever really hit the top, like ranked high, charted very high. And most people might have heard Sober or Stinkfist on the radio in the late 90s, but they don't know, like, they know that song, but they didn't go out and buy the albums. They've never seen them live, which, by the way, for a band that doesn't chart that often and only releases an album seemingly every 12 years, they still sell out arenas when they go on tour. But
Yeah.
you're not going to hear them on the radio that often. And so, and I did pinpoint this one. Like I came prepared. I pinpointed why Tool is underrated and why they are not more popular than they are. And I think Cody may be able to agree with this or at least see where I'm coming from. It's because Tool is a musician's band. Tool is not radio friendly. They are not average person friendly. Tool is a music lover's band. All their stuff is very technical. Their time signatures are all over the place. Like Maynard James Keenan, the lead singer, is a damn genius. Like there's some I can't even think of the name of it right now because it's above my mode of thinking, but it's like this circular like time signature. It's a math equation, and he wrote an entire song that fits in, It's the Fibonacci sequence. He wrote it. Look, I can't even begin to explain this, so I apologize. But look it up. The Fibonacci sequence. His vocals, the drum beat, the guitar strokes, everything fits within inside this Fibonacci sequence. That who in their right mind that's not does not belong in a loony bin even begins to comprehend how to put this together.
Yeah.
And like that's why I feel like you either love Tool or you're like, yeah, I know who they are. Like,
So you kind of get the vibe that they don't write music to make hits. They write music to for people who love to listen to good music.
right.
So
And
you'll
it doesn't
never,
help that most of their songs are like 10 minutes long.
they don't write it for the population. Everybody needs to listen to this. They write it for look the people who really get deep into music. Listen to their songs and you'll love it. It
Right.
makes sense.
I'm a little afraid to get into this because what I have
Are you
to
about to
say.
take Guns N' Roses?
No. What I was gonna discuss on this may take us in another direction. So if either one of y'all have any other bands y'all want to bring up,
No,
y'all should go ahead
Tool is
before
my
I start.
go-to because I was just gonna more define underrated. So
I mean,
no,
are we talking rabbit hole? Is this something we should set up for another session?
No, I mean me and Alan touched on it a little bit this morning. I'll just go ahead and get into it. So if to your question that bands are underrated, if a band is overrated or underrated, that's very opinionated to and in particular to whoever's picking it out.
No, no, absolutely.
Because I may think that I don't know, I may think Tool is overrated. I don't, but I'm just devil's
Yeah,
advocate here. If I may personally think, well, I think they're overrated. I don't really think they're that good.
yeah.
That's just my opinion. Whereas Alan thinks they're underrated. He thinks they're better than people give them credit for.
So, and I think that's why I went with the slash less talked about because I wasn't quite sure how to word it because I know BC Boys weren't underrated. The BC Boys, when they were really throwing out music, I mean, they weren't over under. They were there.
right.
You miss them. So I just didn't know how to word it because, like I was explaining to y'all, right now, if we go to ask somebody who's 20 years old, fresh out of high school, going to college, and we bring up Beastie Boys, I'm afraid, as good as Beastie Boys were, somebody would look and be like, "What's that?" You know. So
There's a
I guess
good chance.
more of the less talked about kind of aspect of it when I was trying to word it. So it's a band that was extremely good. Everybody loved them, but they faded away a lot quicker than you would have expected in the public eye, so to speak. Like I said, comparing Elvis Presley. I mean, dude's name is in the history books. He's not fading away nowhere. I mean, he's been long gone, but Elvis Presley's name is there.
Right.
So
Beastie Boys. I mean, you're talking near future. I mean, what 5 years ago? Maybe 10 max. They were on top charts, and then now it's you could probably find a large sum of people that have no idea who they are.
so the rabbit hole I was going to go down on this is that I just feel like maybe the time time can do great things for some music, and time is very detrimental to
Yeah,
some music. And a great example of that would be like, so we all grew up in the 90s, and the the grunge and punk scene really come out in the 90s and
yeah.
into the early 2000s. And you don't do you hear any of that on the radio anymore?
No, but
No.
but like I said, at the same time, Elvis, you ain't nothing but a hound dog. When's the last time you heard that on the radio?
No, that's what I'm getting at. Unfortunately, radio has pushed people toward
The new direction.
what they want you to listen to.
Yeah,
So there's no, unless you're in a really big city, there's really not any
right.
like where I live, there's either country stations, there's a pop station, or current music station, and then the classic rock station. That's
And
all I
all
can
those
get right here where I live.
and all those stations for the most part play updated stuff. They don't play much from the past.
Right.
That makes sense.
If I go up toward Nashville, I start picking up. I can find 80s and 90s country station. That's one of my favorite genres of music is well for me early country,
You baby.
80s and 90s country. But I can pick up an alternative station where it plays Alter Bridge, it plays uh, Seven Dust, and all these bands you just don't hear on radio anymore.
Yeah.
Just stuff, and then they'll play older stuff. They'll play Pearl Jam and Stone Temple Pilots and stuff like that. But then they play some of the people that's got new stuff coming out, and they still promote. If people are coming to Huntsville to the new right by the Von Braun Center, Mars Music Hall. If
Mhm.
someone's coming there, they promote it. They'll play their music all on the radio for weeks and promote them. But unless you live in a big city, you don't get that.
Yeah.
And so these radio stations have really narrowed down what people can listen to. And that's sad because like if you ask a kid today, what's their favorite Good Charlotte song, they ain't gonna have a damn clue who Good Charlotte is. They
Absolutely
don't, they
not.
don't know.
Yeah.
Who's Good Charlotte? Good Charlotte was awesome. I
The
love Good Charlotte.
the anthem.
And God, I could go for days on their songs. That's some more I think I could name all their lyrics on.
Boys like girls.
Boys don't like girls, boys like cars and money. I think I got that backwards.
It's
Anyway,
backwards, but yeah.
Yeah. So maybe not. But let's see that's really sad because
Yeah.
there's some great music that just doesn't get on radio anymore, and that's because they push you in another direction. And then me and Alan had a discussion this morning that everything is pre-taped now. So like, you go to the country station in Birmingham, 102.5 The Bull. They're playing the playlist that LA's using on the
Right.
iHeartRadio station.
Yeah.
They just put it in, and they just cut in every now and again and do their advertising
The
bits and stuff
local
like that.
weather and local businesses. Yep.
Yeah,
You don't have to make a set
paying
list,
the bills,
just
but
sticking a tape and ride
it's
it with
just
it.
it's sad, unless you just really like to listen to music and pick out different kinds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You're not going to get any good music anymore. You're just going to get what's on the radio. And not that what's on the radio is bad. I don't enjoy
It
it.
is.
I don't think it's music to me.
Yeah,
But
I
people
don't.
enjoy it, and that's their own thing.
I
Yeah.
don't enjoy most of it, and to be honest, that's where I am grateful for things like Spotify existing, Apple Music, items like this, even Pandora to an extent. Yeah, I haven't used Pandora in forever. I don't know if you can choose exact tracks you want to listen to. I like how on Spotify and Apple. I like Spotify and Apple Music. You can make your own playlists and all that. I like 100% God's honest truth, hand on the Bible. Oh, I was about to say I can't tell you the last time I listened to the radio, but it was New Year's Day on my way home from my mother-in-law's house. I listened to the Alabama postgame show, but last time I cannot tell you the last time I listened to music on the radio. And that goes way back. For me, this began. When did the third generation iPod come out? I had the 180 gig iPod, and I sat one day on my computer and burned all my CDs and moved them over to my iPod, and from that day forward, I never listened to the radio again. When I was able to get the iPhone that had enough storage to move all the music to it, so I only had one device, I did that. And then in the last 3 years, me and my wife have started paying for a Spotify subscription. And it has been it's been over 10 years since I have listened to a song on the radio.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, for the most part, I just wanted to kind of throw at least the Beastie Boys names out there. I didn't know if y'all had somebody in mind, but I by no means think they're underrated. I love the Beastie Boys. I was kind of baffled at the fact that in this day and age, there's music, great music that we can listen to that have just kind of faded away. But it's not because they were bad. It's not because they were artists that were jerks. It's not because they got sent to prison for something and nobody really cares about them no more. They just stopped getting talked about. So I just want to kind of, I guess, more of a tribute than anything, just be like, hey, y'all go listen to the Beastie Boys if you've never heard of them before. Or, there are other bands like that, but that's just the one that sparked to me because I heard their song. I'm like, man, nobody talks about the freaking Beastie Boys anymore.
All right. We are running a little bit long, but I did want to squeeze in one more game real quick. This one won't take long. Since I saw that this episode was going to have a fair amount of music on it, I wanted to, we'll call it borrow an idea from another local radio station. This game is called Metal Song or It Ain't. I went onto the internet, looked up some of metal bands that I'm familiar with, and I also went to a website that would generate metal song titles. So I'm going to read you a song title, and it's simple. You tell me whether it's a real song or it ain't. Song 1, Mutilator of Salvation.
That's a real song.
Yeah, that's a song.
It ain't.
Dang it.
Song 2, Feasting on the Blood of the Insane.
That's a real song.
Yeah, that's a song.
That is a song. The band is 6 Feet Under. Song 3, Tearing Inside the Womb.
I'm going with no.
Just to be different, I'll go yes.
It is. The song is by the band Dying Fetus.
Pure luck.
Next song title, The Elation of Strangulation.
No.
It is not.
Yay.
Next song, A Skull Full of Maggots.
Yes. Definitely.
It is. The band is Cannibal Corpse. And I stuck this in. Fun fact for those of you that don't know, Cannibal Corpse is the band that was on stage in the first Ace Ventura movie where Chris Farley was the security guard, and you see, and Jim Carrey goes into the concert, and you see that band up on stage going, doo, 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 like just loud as hell metal concert. That's Cannibal Corpse on stage.
Bravo.
Next song, Disemboweled by Leeches.
I'm going no.
Yes.
It's not.
That was I would need y'all to know all of these are absolute guesses. I might look confident.
Where we stole.
Yeah,
well,
yes,
I'll be honest. Where I borrowed this game from. Those people all guessed too. Don't worry. Next song, Born in a Burial Gown.
I feel like that would be a song title and a good song.
I'm going no. That's false.
It is. The band is Cradle of Filth. Next song, Dead Skin Mask.
Yes. That's a song about Leatherface. It's got to be.
No. No song. That's not a song.
It is. And the band is Slayer.
Is it about Leatherface?
I believe so.
I was going
yeah.
with. Never mind.
Okay. Two more, then we'll wrap up this episode. I know we've gone long. Satan's Degeneracy.
I'm going to say no.
I'm going to stick to the no train, too. For me.
It is not.
Yeah.
Okay, last song of the night. And just in case any of y'all listening have any inkling to go look up any of these songs that were, if you don't have a strong stomach, do not find the actual music video to this next song. Well, I just gave it away too, damn it. Oh, well, the title of the song is Forced Gender Reassignment.
Yeah, I've heard that one. Yeah, I knew that one.
It is a real song.
Oh, Peter, that's nasty.
It's a fun song, but I
Nasty.
would not advise looking up
Oh,
the.
Loretta. That's
Uh,
nasty.
like, I'll put it this way: you will not find this music video on YouTube. You have to go out of your way to find it on the internet. Do not look it up if you do not have a strong stomach. Anyway, that is it for episode 11. Any closing comments y'all have this week?
Congratulations to Devontae Smith for winning the Heisman as a receiver. I am proud of him. I'm happy for him. I think a player other than a quarterback and running back need to earn it, occasionally, and he has earned every bit of it the way he has played this season.
First
So,
one
Devontae-
since Desmond, right? Desmond Howard in 91.
yeah, early '90s, late '80s, something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. So,
Yep.
just wanted to say congratulations. That's all I got.
Yeah, I'll second that. He was definitely the most deserving. That guy was unreal this year.
Yeah. And that's coming from an Auburn fan and LSU fan. So.
Yeah. No, he
Yeah.
definitely deserved
And
it.
just so I don't sound like a homer, I'll keep my mouth shut and just say I'm proud of him. he had a very good season.
I'll drop some Auburn on you. He was definitely more deserving than Mark Ingram was. Anyway,
Yes. So true.
thanks everybody for listening. As always, this is for the people. So anything you want us to talk about, drop it in the comments. Anything we've talked about today, drop your stuff in on actors, actresses. You think when was their most attractive time to you? What's a song that takes you back? Uh, I don't know what's burning your biscuits.
Yeah, let us know.
So yeah, let us know, and we appreciate the support.
Yeah, for real, we appreciate the support so much. I mean, we have so much fun doing this and cutting up and putting all this stuff together. So, I mean, the only thing y'all can do to help us out, like, share, subscribe, send it to your friends, post it on Facebook. At least put our names on Instagram or something like that. Let's get the public out there. I mean, the more people we have commenting on these things to give us ideas, the wilder this can get. I mean, there's no telling what people out there think and want to listen to, want to talk about. So somebody makes a comment about wanting to listen to certain something, hey, we'll talk about it. So
we'll talk about whatever y'all want us to talk about. And yeah, like, comment, share it. YouTube knows you're sharing this. It helps us out even more than you sharing it. If we have enough people sharing this to their personal Facebook, then without going too deep, YouTube will then recommend our videos to other people that are watching videos similar that you are already watching. We will get in other people's sidebars. So yeah, share it, like it, comment, let us know what to talk about. We look forward to reading your comments every week. We're always I'm refreshing the feed all the time so we can see what y'all have to say. We thank each and every one of y'all for coming along on this journey with us. Second episode of the year. The way I look at it, we have at least 50 more episodes this year. We're going to need your help.
Goal is 500 subscribers.
Let us know what you want to hear us talk about. And remember, when we hit 500 subscribers, we get to Stephen Butthole, and he's even promised to pretty it up and make it look real nice for you too. So, all right, everybody, this episode has gone very long. We apologize for the length of this episode. Y'all have a great time. Everybody, peace out.
Peace out.
See y'all.